Breaking news, what ABC News is learning right now about a potential breakthrough, a plan to potentially release about 50 hostages, including women and children. It comes as Israeli forces raid Gaza's largest hospital, Al-Shifa Hospital. What the Israeli military tonight says it found inside. Our reporter pressing them on the discoveries and asking about the Hamas tunnels that they said were underneath the hospital. Did they find them? The Israeli army releasing this video of their operation. They say the carefully targeted raid was aimed at, quote, dismantling Hamas infrastructure. A military spokesman showing reporters what they found inside. They say behind an MRI machine, for example, weapons, including an AK-47 and ammunition. Tonight, Hamas calling Israel's claims a blatant lie. The Gaza Health Ministry, run by Hamas, providing this video just before the Israeli raid, showing Al-Shifa medics racing to evacuate patients. And tonight on the hostages, multiple officials now telling ABC News that negotiations on the hostages are progressing. They say they're getting closer. So how many hostages and who among them? ABC's Matt Gutman leading us off tonight from Tel Aviv.
Tonight, this is the evidence that Israel says it has found at Gaza's largest hospital so far, including these rifles and body armor, claiming Hamas uses Al-Shifa Hospital as a command center, saying Israeli soldiers are still inside. The Gaza Health Ministry, run by Hamas, releasing video from before the raid showing the perilous conditions for patients and doctors, smoke-filled hallways, and damage inside. The raid starting around 2 a.m. local time, the Israeli military describing it as precise and targeted, saying they killed several militants outside the hospital, and that they now control part of the complex of 9 buildings, conducting interrogations and searches.
We're now, as you can see, in an MRI room.
In this video, an Israeli spokesman showing weaponry and what he calls a go bag that he claims was found behind MRI machines.
There is an AK-47, there are cartridges, ammo, there are grenades in here, of course uniform, and all of this was hidden very conveniently, secretly behind the MRI machine.
Hamas calling the allegations a blatant lie. ABC News could not independently verify those claims, but the White House says U.S. intelligence supports Israel's assertions. And tonight, we pressed the Israeli military.
AK-47s are not supposed to be in an MRI room. Them being there is clear evidence that Hamas is using it.
But does that justify laying siege to a hospital where there are hundreds of patients who are already in dire circumstances?
We're fighting Hamas. We know that this is another stronghold by Hamas, and we're going after them wherever they are.
And they have also said there are tunnels underneath the hospital, and we pressed them. Did they find them?
Is there any evidence of the tunnels being, or the entrances to the tunnels being inside the hospital?
We've found hundreds of tunnel shafts that have already been exposed, booby-trapped, many of them.
But I mean at the hospital?
Yeah, so I'm saying in the surrounding area, there's hundreds of tunnel shafts that we've already found. Now, it takes time to find them, and that's where we're now looking, and we're continuously looking inside the hospital and also in its vicinity.
The Israeli military also releasing these images, saying it shows soldiers delivering much-needed supplies. But tonight, one doctor inside that hospital describing a harrowing scene, saying he can still hear Israeli tanks and bulldozers at the hospital gates.
So you're actually hearing it right now?
Yeah, I can hear it now. The tanks are just here.
They claim the ICU is out of oxygen and about 40 patients on ventilators have died.
So we started 6 days ago with 63 patients in the ICU. Now we have 20 patients only in the ICU.
But news on those 36 premature babies removed from their incubators due to the lack of electricity. All 36 tonight still alive. And tonight, a potential breakthrough involving the hostages. U.S. and Israeli sources saying a deal is progressing to free at least 50 hostages, women and children, in exchange for a temporary ceasefire and the release of some Palestinian women and minors from Israeli jails.
Bring them home now.
And so let's bring in Matt Gutman from Israel again tonight. And Matt, it's now been 40 days since Hamas took more than 200 people hostage. Of course, that includes Americans. We have stayed on the stories of these families, the Americans still waiting for word on their loved ones. And tonight you have news on this potential deal in the works.
David, U.S. and Israeli officials tell us they are cautiously optimistic about this deal for at least 50 hostages, but they say that neither the number of hostages nor the number of Palestinian women and minors to be released have been finalized. And there are a couple of sticking points here, including that Israel wants as short a ceasefire as possible. Hamas wants it to be 7 days. David.
Matt Gutman in Tel Aviv for us, leading us off. Matt, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.